On the evening of March 13th, 1997, something happened over Arizona. It didn't crash. It didn't land. It didn't make a sound. It simply appeared. Thousands of people across Phoenix and the surrounding desert looked up, but steady, deliberate, silent. People described it as a wide, triangular shape, blotting out the stars behind it, so large that it felt less like an object and more like a presence. It moved slowly enough that people called their families outside. They pointed, they watched, they whispered. They knew they were seeing something unusual, but they didn't know what. And that's what makes this story different. This wasn't a few witnesses. This wasn't a single grainy video. This wasn't one person in the desert at night. This was an entire city. Children, parents, police officers, pilots, air traffic controllers, military personnel, all seeing the same thing at the same time. Yet no emergency broadcast was issued, no warning was given, no explanation followed. When people called the authorities, they were told there was nothing to worry about, that they hadn't seen anything unusual, that it was probably flares. But flares fall, they flicker, they burn out. They don't move together in formation. They don't blot out stars. They don't cause seasoned pilots to call in and say, "There is something huge in the sky and I can't identify it." Some witnesses reported the lights passing directly overhead, so low that they could sense its size without being able to see its edges. They described a shape, not just points of light, a shape that moved like it was under control, not drifting, not falling, not random, controlled. And then, just as quietly as it appeared, it was gone. No sonic boom, no trail, no debris, no explanation. In the days that followed, the story exploded. News stations received hundreds of calls. People compared what they saw. They realized they weren't alone. They realized they hadn't imagined it. But instead of answers, they got jokes. The governor of Arizona held a press conference. He brought out an aide in an alien costume. The room laughed, the cameras rolled, and the message was clear. Whatever people thought they saw, they weren't going to be taken seriously. Years later, the governor admitted he had seen the lights too, and that he didn't know what they were. So why pretend? Why mock something that frightened people? Why dismiss thousands of consistent eyewitness accounts? Why tell people they saw flares, when even the military couldn't produce radar data to match that explanation? That's the part that should unsettle you. Not that something unknown appeared, but that when it did, no one in authority tried to explain it honestly. The Phoenix Lights are not a story about aliens. They're a story about uncertainty, about how we respond when reality doesn't fit our models, about what happens when something appears that we can't name, can't classify, and can't comfortably explain. It forces a question we don't like asking. What if we don't know what's in our sky? What if our systems aren't as complete as we think? What if our need for certainty is stronger than our need for truth? Because the real mystery isn't what flew over Phoenix. It's why no one was willing to say, "We don't know what that was," and what it means. When we live in a world where that sentence is the hardest one to say,